Hello my vegan foodies. Today I want to show you my absolute favorite way to make a vegan baked potato. This is like a loaded baked potato but Tex-Mex style with black beans, tomatoes, corn, jalapeno, vegan cheese, and vegan sour cream. So the first thing we need to do is bake the potatoes. I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm washing 4 medium-sized russet potatoes and using a fork to poke holes in them. When you're choosing your potatoes, try to find 4 that are similar in size and evenly shaped so that you'll have a nice looking potato that won't roll over on your plate. Next, I'm going to coat the potatoes with some spray oil. I'm using olive oil spray, but choose whatever oil you like. And then I'll sprinkle some salt on the skins. If you're not going to eat the skins, you don't need to add salt. It's just there for flavor. And I know some people like to wrap their potatoes in foil to bake them. I actually tested baking them with and without foil, and there was no discernible difference between the two. So since the results were basically the same, I didn't use foil. And these are going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm taking them out, flipping them to the other side, and I'll put them back in for another 30 minutes more to finish baking. When they're finally done, I will just use some oven mitts to press on the corners here to make sure that they're actually done. They should be a little soft when you press on them. And I'm going to set those aside to let them cool until they can be handled, which is about 20 minutes. And in the meantime, I will make my black bean and veggie topping. So to my bowl here, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of chopped Roma tomato, 1/2 cup of black beans, a 1/4 cup of frozen corn kernels, and 1 chopped jalapeno. And then I'll mix that all well. I sometimes add about a tablespoon of chopped cilantro as well, but it didn't look very fresh in the store, so I skipped it this time. And now I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper to taste and mix it up well again. All right, my potatoes are cool enough now, so I'm going to start slicing off the tops. I'm cutting the top 1/4 or so off the potato lengthwise just to create an opening on the top. Some people prefer to cut the potatoes in half, and you could do that as well, but you might need some more toppings since you're going to have 8 halves instead of 4 mostly whole potatoes. Next, I'm going to scoop the flesh out of the potatoes and into a large bowl. I'm leaving about a 1/4 of an inch border around the skin to make sure it holds its shape and doesn't break or fall apart. And we're left with these lovely shells, which will hold our potato filling and our toppings. So now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of vegan butter to my potato flesh bowl, along with a 1/4 cup of vegan sour cream. I'm using Kite Hill, which is my favorite, and then I'm adding a teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper as well. And I'll just mash that all up together. It's really up to you how smooth or chunky you want to make it. Just make sure that everything gets mixed up well. And as you can see, I started off with a fork, but quickly needed to switch over to a potato masher to get everything really well combined. So the last thing I'll add to the filling is 3/8 of a cup of vegan cheese. I usually use Miyoko's Cheddar shreds, but I could not find them, and I saw that Chao had a Mexican cheese blend, so I decided to try that and see how it compares. And I'm just gently folding the shreds into the filling to get them distributed throughout. All right, now I'm just putting all this filling back into the shells. Since you're putting more stuff in than you took out, the shells are going to be really full. So I try to really pack the filling in there so that there's still room for the toppings. And when it's full, then I just use the back of the spoon to create a well at the center to hold the toppings in place. Next, I'm going to put some vegan cheese on top of the potatoes, but I'm going to melt it on the stove first so that it gets a lot meltier than it can get in the oven. Is meltier a word? I don't think so, but let's go with it. It can take a few minutes for the cheese to melt, so be patient and just keep stirring it the whole time. It'll typically start to melt all at once and turn into a stretchy ball. I didn't really know what to expect from this cheese since I never used it before, but it melted okay. It's a little more blob-like than the Miyoko's or the Violife, but it's usable. Once it melts, you have to work fast to spread it on top of the potatoes before it cools too much. So just take a spoon and spread it from side to side so it looks all stretchy and yummy. Then I'm going to put my beans and veggies on top of that. And I'll use the back of my spoon again to really press this stuff down into the wells so it stays in place. Now these will go back onto the baking tray and into the oven for another 15 minutes to warm up. You're probably going to have some extra black beans and veggies left over, so I like to pile them on top of the potato tops and eat them as a snack while I'm waiting for the potatoes to finish. You could also make a salsa with it, just add some lime juice, agave, and hot sauce, and use it as a dip for chips or whatever you like. Alright, these are almost ready now. I'm just going to add a dollop of my Kite Hill sour cream to the tops. You should wait to do this until right before you're ready to serve them because the sour cream can start to melt if you leave it on there for too long. And then I will sprinkle some chopped green onions on top, or you could use chives here too. And they're ready to be served. All right, let's see how these turned out. Yep, delicious as usual. As far as my verdict on the Chao Mexican cheese, it was fine if it's all you can get, but the Miyoko's has more flavor and melted better. And I would choose Violife over the Chao as well. Of the three, the Chao is my third choice. But the potatoes were still super flavorful. There's a little bit of crunchiness from the veggies that pairs so nicely with the smooth potato filling. Try them out. I'm sure you will love them. Thank you so much for watching this one. That's all for now, but I'll be back with another one soon. See you next time.